You both make good money, you've talked about the future, you've even agreed on the big stuff, house, kids, retirement. But every single time money comes up in real life, something shifts. You want to invest. They want to enjoy today. You track every dollar. They don't think about it. You look at the bank account before every purchase. They look at it after. And 6 months into this, you've realized something uncomfortable. You didn't just marry a person. You married a financial system. And right now, those two systems are quietly working against each other and against your future. My name is Dave, and I spend way too much time thinking about what money disagreements actually cost couples. Not just emotionally, but mathematically. If you're in a relationship where you and your partner approach money differently, and the gap is starting to feel like it's growing, hit that subscribe button, because this video is going to put specific numbers on something most couples only feel. Before we go further, do you know what the #1 predictor of divorce is? Not infidelity, not communication problems. According to a 2023 study published in the journal Family Relations, financial disagreements are the single strongest predictor of relationship dissolution, more than any other category of conflict. Let that land for a second. Let me reframe the conversation most couples are having. Most people think the problem is disagreeing about money. The real problem is having incompatible money operating systems and not knowing it until the damage is already compounding. Here's what I mean. One partner is a saver. They feel anxiety when the savings account goes below a certain threshold. The other is a spender. Not recklessly, but they fundamentally believe money is for living, and deferring everything feels like a kind of death by delay. Neither of these people is wrong, but they are speaking two completely different financial languages. And in the absence of a shared framework, the default is usually compromise, which means neither person gets what they actually need. Here's what most people don't realize about financial incompatibility. According to a Fidelity Investments study, 69% of couples say they disagree about money. But here's the part that should genuinely alarm you. 43% of those couples say they don't discuss money regularly enough to resolve those disagreements. They're carrying incompatibility forward, month after month, year after year, letting it compound like debt. And here's where the math gets brutal. Let's say one partner wants to invest $500 a month and the other consistently redirects it to lifestyle expenses, dinners, travel, upgrades. Not because they're irresponsible, but because their operating system says present enjoyment is worth more than future security. Over 20 years at a 7% return, that $500 a month becomes $260,000. That's not the cost of a few nice dinners. That's a retirement account. That's the difference between retiring at 62 and working until 68. That's the specific price of financial incompatibility. Here's what most people don't realize about why money fights escalate so fast. Money is almost never just about money. When a saver watches their partner spend, what they're actually feeling is unsafety. They're not angry about the purchase, they're panicking about the future. And when a spender feels controlled around money, what they're actually feeling is disrespected. They're not defending the purchase, they're defending their identity. This is why the conversation keeps having the same fight. You're not actually fighting about the restaurant or the vacation or the new car. You're fighting about whose emotional relationship with money gets to be the default. And until you name that, you will never resolve it. Now you might be thinking, Dave, we love each other. We'll figure it out. And I believe you. But love doesn't reconcile two different definitions of financial security. Respect doesn't automatically produce a shared investment strategy. And the couples who figure it out don't do it by accident. They do it by doing something extremely specific. and most couples never do it. This is where it gets really interesting. The couples who survive and thrive with different money mindsets don't try to convert each other. They build a system that serves both mindsets simultaneously. They call it a yours, mine, and ours structure. A shared account for shared goals, house, investments, emergency fund, and separate accounts for individual spending, where each partner has genuine autonomy without judgment. This is not a compromise, it's an architecture. And it removes the most toxic dynamic in money-incompatible couples: the feeling of being monitored, controlled, or fundamentally misunderstood by the person who is supposed to be your partner. Here's the counterintuitive truth about money and relationships. The goal is not financial alignment. The goal is financial compatibility. And those are completely different things. Alignment means you agree on everything. Compatibility means your systems can coexist and even reinforce each other. Some of the wealthiest couples I've ever studied had genuinely different relationships with money. But they built a framework that used both tendencies as features, not bugs. So here's what you actually do with this. 1. Have the honest conversation. Not about money stories. Each of you grew up in a household with financial norms. Those norms are now your operating system. Ask each other, what did money mean in your family? Was it scarce? Was it a source of shame? Was it spent freely or hoarded anxiously? Until you understand each other's origin story, you're fighting symptoms, not causes. 2. Build the 3-account structure. 1 shared account for every shared obligation and goal. 2 individual accounts with an agreed monthly amount that each of you controls completely, with no questions asked. This single structural change eliminates the majority of financial conflict in most couples within 90 days. 3. Schedule a monthly money meeting. Not a fight, a meeting. 30 minutes. Numbers on the table, progress towards shared goals reviewed, individual spending not on the agenda. This normalizes financial conversation as a routine, not a crisis. Look, the financial trap of marrying someone with a different money mindset is not that they're wrong and you're right. It's that you each have a fully developed relationship with money that predates your relationship with each other. And those relationships will determine your financial future more than your income, more than the market, more than anything else. The couples who build wealth together don't do it because they think identically about money. They do it because they built a system where both of them could be who they actually are and still move toward the same destination. Drop a comment and tell me which one you are, the saver or the spender, and whether you're with your opposite. I'll see you in the next video.